Listen closely. If you don't snap out of your days right now, you risk losing it all. Not just your goals, but your time, your potential, your entire future. And the most brutal truth? It'll be entirely your responsibility. You've been deceived. They told you to stay hopeful, keep a positive mindset, trust that things will work out. But that was a trap. Hope is the most dangerous illusion humans have ever bought into. It's why you're still struggling, still powerless, still unseen in a world that bows only to strength. Every minute you wait, another man, hungrier, tougher, more relentless, is claiming what was meant for you. And if you don't make a move now, you'll be left in the dust permanently. This is your final wake-up call. Listen or live with regret for the rest of your life. Let me break it down. Hope without effort is worthless. You've been misled your whole life. They told you to think positively, to believe in yourself, to let the universe take care of the rest, as if success would just drop into your lap. It won't. Not now, not ever. Right now, this very instant, someone else is grinding while you scroll. He's stacking money while you hesitate. He's executing plans while you cling to wishful thinking. He's reshaping reality to match his vision while you sit frozen. That's why you feel stuck. That's why you don't have what you crave, because you still think hope will rescue you. It won't. Winners don't rely on hope. They take decisive action. Think life is unfair? You're right. It is. Think the wealthy have the edge? They absolutely do. Think high achievers are outplaying you? They are, but here's the part no one wants to say aloud. You can win regardless. How? By doing everything the average man refuses to do: discipline, sacrifice, enduring hardship, staying relentless when everyone else gives up. That's how you rise. That's how you become untouchable. But most of you won't even try. You'll watch this, feel inspired for a moment, and then drift back into your habits. That's why you'll fail. Because deep down, you're hooked on ease. You want achievement without adversity. You want praise without the process. Here's the truth no one wants to swallow. Growth comes from pain. Strength is forged through struggle. You don't evolve by playing it safe. The most dominant men in history didn't rise by waiting for things to get easier. They pushed through unbearable pain, took on more pressure, faced more battles than anyone else. That's why they won. And that's why most of you won't. Because you flee from discomfort. You want a strong body, but won't endure the sweat. You want wealth, but refuse to grind weekends. You want admiration, but lack the courage to demand it through your actions. So let me ask you, how badly do you want it? If you're not willing to bleed for it, you don't deserve it. Hope is for the fragile. Action is for the relentless. And if you don't rise up now and carry yourself like someone worthy of greatness, you'll never taste it. The real reason you're losing isn't the unfairness of the world. It's not the system. It's not your circumstances. It's you, your refusal to own your life completely. Too many men today have gone soft. They point fingers when they fall short. They see someone successful and say, "He just got lucky." No, he earned it. You think millionaires were handed everything? You think champions were born with it? No, they put in more effort, made bigger sacrifices, endured more pain than you ever have. That's why they rise. That's why they dominate. And that's why you're still sitting there, clinging to hope while they're taking action. So what now? Are you going to keep sitting still, fantasizing about success? Or will you finally rise and seize it? This isn't a fairy tale. There are no magical endings for the unprepared. No heroes are coming to save you. The world respects power, action, and results. You think life is fair? Think again. The powerful take. The weak get nothing. That's the truth they try to hide. Every second you spend hoping, some other man is grinding for what could have been yours. You see it daily. The men who drive your dream cars, live in your fantasy homes, date the women you admire. Why do they have it? Because while you were dreaming, they were doing. While you waited for inspiration, they were working. While you told yourself tomorrow, they were executing today. This is war. And in war, there are only two types of men, hunters and the hunted. Every choice you make pushes you toward one or the other. When your alarm rings and you hit snooze, you choose weakness. When you skip the workout because you're tired, you pick fragility. When you dodge challenges and invent excuses, you decide to be prey. And prey doesn't survive. Society crushes those who don't fight. The economy traps those who won't compete. The distractions, social media, junk food, endless entertainment are designed to pacify you. Because docile men stay in line. Docile men serve. Docile men never lead. If you refuse to escape that system, you'll waste your entire life watching other men live the life that was meant for you. That's why you must become a predator, a man who acts without waiting, who doesn't flinch, who doesn't depend on hope. You take what's yours when you want it, because you've earned it. But that level of strength isn't gifted, it's earned through pain. You want financial freedom? Then outwalk everyone. 16-hour days. No excuses. You want influence? Then eliminate every weakness inside you. You want respect? Then demand excellence from yourself in every moment. That's the toll for greatness. And most won't pay. Hope is a virus. It's a trick to keep you docile. They tell you to stay optimistic, think good thoughts, as if that's all it takes. It's not. You can dream all day long, but without action, nothing changes. Hope without discipline is just a prettier word for delay. The only difference between those who rise and those who fail is this: winners act, losers wait. Every time you hesitate, you fall behind. Every time you choose comfort over progress, you fall further. Every time you daydream instead of moving, you lose ground. And do you know what happens if you keep losing? And continues in next message if you'd like to include more. You fade into insignificance, forgotten, dismissed, just another man who let his strength rot in silence. You look around and see others growing wealthier, more dominant, more influential, and you ask yourself, why not me? I'll tell you exactly why, because you haven't paid the price. Achievement isn't a gift, it's a conquest. It isn't handed out like party favors, it's seized with grit. You must be prepared to outwalk, outplan, and outlast everyone. You need to become so obsessed, so unyielding, and so intensely focused on your evolution that failure simply becomes an illusion. Let me tell you this. There's a version of you that can't be stopped. A version that wakes up with purpose, takes control, never complains, never flinches, never gives up. That version of you is real, but he's buried underneath your weakness. And the only way to bring him to life is to destroy everything inside you that's holding him back. Your feelings? Irrelevant. Your excuses? Worthless. Your history? Doesn't matter. The only thing that counts now is what you do from this point forward. Every moment you waste is one less moment left in your life. Every choice made from weakness is time you'll never reclaim. And someday, when your clock runs out and your opportunities vanish, you'll see that you spent your life wishing instead of acting, and that pain will crush you. Because by then, the window will be closed for good. So the real question is, will you allow that fate to be yours? Or will you rise today and seize the reins of your future? Let's make something crystal clear. No one is coming to rescue you, not your family, not your friends, not some government policy, not fate or the stars. Only you have the power to turn your story around. And until you embrace that truth, until you take full, unapologetic control of your path, you will remain stuck. But the second you grasp that your power, your results, your destiny all fall entirely on your shoulders, that's when you become lethal. That's when you stop begging and start claiming. That's when you become unstoppable. So I'll ask you, are you going to keep sitting there, clinging to dreams, or are you going to get up and take what's been waiting for you? Most men today are fragile, soft, scared, broken. They live paralyzed by fear. Fear of failing. fear of being rejected, fear of enduring pain. And because of that fear, they stay broke, they stay invisible, they stay powerless. And you know what? That's by design. Since birth, the system conditioned them to be docile, agreeable, and compliant. Be nice. Wait your turn. Play fair. Work hard, and eventually, things will work out. Lies. Absolute lies. Success doesn't reward patience. It rewards aggression. It rewards those who take action without hesitation. It belongs to those who will sacrifice comfort, endure hardship, and refuse to give up no matter how brutal the battle gets. But most of you will never get there, because most of you make the same choice every day, the choice to be weak. And don't take my word for it. Look at your own life. Look at your body. Look at your bank account. Look at your daily habits. Are you proud of what you see? If not, let me give it to you straight. You are the problem. Not society. Not bad luck. Not the economy. You. You are the reason you're stuck. You are the reason you wake up angry, empty, and lost. And unless you finally own that truth, nothing in your life will change. The reason most people hate hearing this is because it forces them to face themselves. It demands they accept that their current life is the result of every decision they've ever made. That level of self-responsibility? Most men are too mentally fragile to handle it. But weakness is not something that attacks you. It's something you choose. You didn't magically end up broke. You didn't accidentally get unhealthy. You didn't randomly fall into failure. You chose it. Every time you skipped the gym, every time you blew money on garbage, every time you dodged responsibility because the grind was too hard, you were choosing to lose. And now you're living inside the exact outcome of those daily decisions. But instead of confronting that truth, most people invent stories. They blame the system. They blame their boss, their parents, their past. They act like the world is rigged just to keep them down, as if that fantasy excuses their lack of results. You can let me know if you'd like me to continue the next part of the script. It seems your input got cut off after that last sentence. Convincing yourself that your laziness is justified doesn't make it true. It's not. Do you honestly believe high-performing men waste their energy whining? Do you think the ultra-wealthy spend their days sobbing over how unfair life is? Absolutely not. They master the system. They outwalk, outplan, and outsmart everyone around them, and that is why they win. Because weakness has no place in their mindset. There is nothing admirable about being frail. Society might feed you the narrative that it's fine to settle, that mediocrity is acceptable, that being comfortable is enough. But that's a lie. If you're not consistently leveling up, if you're not driving yourself to become sharper, tougher, and better every day, then you're falling behind. That's reality. Let's get real. Those who lack strength get left in the dust. Look around. The guys constantly under pressure, barely getting by in dead-end roles, exhausted and anxious, they're there because they chose weakness. They spent years crafting excuses instead of crafting results. Now all they're left with is unrealized dreams and the weight of regret. And regret? That's the heaviest burden any man can bear. If you don't pivot, if you don't start embracing self-discipline and intensity with everything you've got, that burden will become your story too. Understand this. Life doesn't care about fairness. It doesn't reward you for having good intentions. It doesn't hand out rewards just because you wish for them. It responds only to what you deliver. If you're soft, life will stomp you. If you're resilient, life will pay you. Simple. Still, so many of you are stuck waiting for a perfect moment, for a surge of motivation, for that mythical day when everything feels right. Let's be clear, that moment will never come. If you rely on inspiration to act, you'll stay stuck forever. Progress only comes when you move despite not feeling like it. That's the edge winners have. Winners create momentum. They don't wait for it. While losers sit around complaining about how hard life is, winners tackle the storm head on. While losers burn time on mindless distractions, winners squeeze value out of every second, evolving, progressing, conquering. You want to know the real reason you feel stuck? It's simple. You're drowning in distractions. You're shackled by poor routines. You're consumed by weakness. You spend hours glued to social media, watching strangers live out the dreams you refuse to build for yourself. You throw away time chasing momentary satisfaction, indulging in entertainment that leaves you empty. And all the while, you neglect the one thing that matters most, doing the work. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen if nothing changes. Nothing will change. Your situation will remain exactly as it is. Next year, 5 years from now, a decade down the line, you'll still be here, stuck, bitter, powerless. And when you're older, when your strength is gone and your options are few, you'll look back and see that you squandered it all. But it doesn't have to be that way. Here's the truth. You still have time. If you're reading this, you haven't run out of chances. You still have a window to correct the course. You still have the potential to become strong, capable, and dominant, to grow into the man you were built to be. But that path requires something most won't give: ruthless honesty, discipline, and decisive action. You must be willing to confront the truth of where you are right now, and more importantly, commit to where you must go. You have to kill off the weakness living inside you. The time for rationalizing is over. The time for delay is over. The time for movement is now. Either you go all in on becoming better, or you settle into a lifetime of mediocrity. Make no mistake, there is no in between. You can't be sort of successful. You can't be partially disciplined. You're either committed fully or you're nothing at all. Winners don't hesitate, losers stall. And right now, in this very second, you've got a choice to make. Will you step up as a winner, or will you fall back as a loser? Time is not on your side. And if you fail to act now, that failure will haunt you forever. Because the most dangerous addiction in this world, it isn't drugs. It isn't alcohol. It's comfort. Comfort will destroy your potential faster than anything else. It will rob you of greatness. It will cage you without you even knowing it. And unless you break free from its grip, you will never taste the life you could have had. Comfort is the trap that keeps you powerless, penniless, and stuck in an average life while other men climb above you. And the worst part is, you don't even notice it's destroying you. You convince yourself everything is okay. You whisper lies about figuring it all out eventually. But somewhere deep inside, in that hidden part of your mind, you know the truth. You are falling short. You are not the man you were designed to become. You're not testing your limits. You haven't even begun to explore your full capacity. And do you know why? Because you've made the fatal decision to choose ease over excellence. Think about the world's elite, the tycoons, the legends, the titans of industry. Do you believe they live soft, cozy lives? Do you think they coast through each day? Absolutely not. They rise each morning with a purpose. They chase pain. They deliberately make themselves suffer more than anyone around them. Why? Because they understand a vital truth. Hardship breeds power. Every single time you battle through fatigue, you gain strength. Every time you do what's difficult, your resilience grows. Every time you reject comfort and embrace adversity, you become more formidable. Yet most of you treat discomfort like a sickness. You dodge anything that tests you. You never stretch your abilities. Your entire existence revolves around sidestepping pain instead of pursuing it. And that's why you feel trapped. Take a hard look at your routine. Be real with yourself. How often do you face genuine, soul-tearing, character-forging pain? Not trivial annoyances, not shallow stress. I'm talking about the kind of suffering that forges leaders and breaks pretenders. The type that turns boys into warriors. The kind that obliterates the weak and molds the indestructible. Do you push your physical limits until your body is ready to shut down? Do you attack your goals with such intensity that your mind feels like it's going to explode? Do you force yourself to persevere when your entire being is screaming to stop? If not, then you're still living in fear. And here's the brutal reality. Greatness is born from struggle. Most people will never reach the top because they are addicted to their soft, comfortable habits. You crave sleeping in. You crave sugary junk. You crave mindless distractions. You run from accountability. And that love for ease is what's chaining you to a life of failure. The contrast between champions and the defeated is obvious. Winners embrace suffering. The man who's willing to endure the most pain always comes out on top. And if you can't endure hardship, if you won't teach yourself to thrive in the fire, you will always be ruled by the ones who can. There's a reason soldiers endure hellish training. There's a reason athletes destroy their limits. There's a reason history's greatest leaders went through brutal trials. Power is forged in the furnace of pain. Every time you sidestep suffering, you're rejecting your power. Every time you choose ease over effort, you're choosing to stay weak. And what happens to the weak? Look around. Weak men are crushed. They're walked over. They're discarded. They're disrespected and forgotten. And if you keep running from discomfort, if you keep escaping pain, you'll end up the same. A nameless, powerless ghost of a man who spent his whole life ducking the fire and ended up with nothing. And when you finally see what you lost, it'll be far too late. That's why you need to destroy your craving for comfort right now. Burn it from your thinking. Treat it like a disease. Start craving struggle. Start molding your body and mind to flourish in adversity. Rise early when every muscle wants to rest. Hit the gym when exhaustion calls. Work harder than ever when your brain begs for a break. Chase the discomfort, because that is where strength is made. The soft will never grasp this. They'll keep justifying their excuses. They'll keep believing life is meant to be smooth. But for those willing to rise, those prepared to suffer, your path is clear. Pain must become your weapon. The man who suffers the most becomes the most dangerous. The one who thrives in adversity becomes unstoppable. The one who meets suffering face to face and grins, that man wins. So the question is, will you keep chasing ease, or will you bleed your way to the top? Most men are trapped by the biggest illusion of all. They think there's time. They trick themselves into believing they can start tomorrow, next week, or someday soon. They convince themselves that there's no rush to get serious, no urgency to change. But that lie is why they remain weak, broke, and invisible.